Hello, my name is Manamoon, running for mayor, counselor of my ward 23. Mission is to become one of the best leaders in this country. I am going to become one of the best leaders in this country, without a doubt. Why am I learning to learn? Right now, this is a study session. I'm learning to learn because I feel as a leader, being able to consume, retain, and or reorganize information is an asset. I feel you got to be up to date to the latest trends, just understand certain things. When I learn to learn, okay, why should, and also I'm learning about business because it's, I feel also it would be an asset to understand how money works and how to get money, how to sell stuff. If we are trying to raise money, so it helps me strategically how to raise money, how to, so I don't have to ask you guys. It fell. Oh my God, the mountains are coming. Yeah. Pardon me. Oh, just okay. Who am I? Mission. Why am I learning to learn? Why should they listen? Why should you listen? Because you guys are literally seeing me getting better day by day. I'm trying to be authentic. This is raw. You guys see all my flaws. You literally saw this flaw. It's not perfect. Because literally, you guys are seeing me grow, which is gonna build trust, which is gonna build, you get an expectation for me. Expectation for this video. Expectation. So Alex is right now is gonna talk to a couple, and they own a Thai restaurant, and I feel it'd be good because there's literally like there's a new store opened in the Malvern Mall, the newest store called Fahmee Bakery. I like him. It's a young man running the thing. One of the a lot of the locations burned down and some of them just closed, and now they reopened here. They do have history in the Toronto culture. They used to sell at Warden. Some of y'all just know. So I'm just wondering, okay, this video as counselor leader, it helps me understand sort of like how are like even like restaurants around the area, how are they run? How are they, if would I be able to go in their business, look at the constraints and know how to fix it? So that's why it's a restaurant. So I'm looking at okay, is this video might help me look at Fahmee and break it down. How can I help Fahmee get bigger? How can I help Fahmee get more reoccurring customers? How can I have what are Fahmee's constraints? What can you do to get better? So I would like to have the ability to look at a business and not know how to improve it. That makes sense. Give advice on how to improve it. Oh, that's what we're watching this video, man. It's a restaurant. We have a lot of restaurants in the Vern, a lot of good ones. Some nice. Yeah, let's start. Expectation AM. Okay. Vague to clear. Why should they listen to me? Okay, already that. So let's start. One thing first before we start, I like to know their margins. Are they making enough money? I like to know, are they getting okay, what's the revenue? And after paying, like, to keep the business running after re-upping, you know what I mean? But after okay, this is the money to keep the business running. Are they still do they still have money? And like what's their net profit and what's the gross profit? You know what I'm saying? What else? Okay, let's see what constraints. What do they want? I see that they have I did some priming. I kind of looked at I primed before, so I looked at the key. Okay, they're gonna talk about this, gonna talk about that, they're gonna talk about that. I see they have multiple locations. So obviously I thought, okay, if they have multiple location, is it quality? Is it the same quality as the first location? Because there's gonna be like a training problem. How to train them? Are they getting trained the same way? You know what I mean? That's other problems that I feel they might encounter. And I'm probably it's Alex. I mean, he's probably gonna restructure it in a strategic way where it attracts so they can improve their margins. So I don't know. I'm also curious, like, how do you make offers in a restaurant? How do you create an offer in a restaurant and stuff? But yeah, let's start though. But you realize, man, restaurant, that's not cheap. You gotta buy food, pay your customers. I didn't really making that much profit. All right, go. We're gonna start the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the new angle. They're having a smart, handsome young counselor. You know what I mean? I'm trying to fuck with you. But yeah, cheers. Call in the bin.
This is Calvin and Air, a husband and wife duo that run a Thai restaurant that does $3.5 million a year and has lines out the door. But they're opening up their second location next month and they're not ready. If they mess this up, they could lose their savings and the reputation they spent years building. I'm Hormozi. I own Acquisition.com, a portfolio of companies that generate hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Earlier in my career, I sold a service business for $46.2 million that helped brick and mortar businesses like theirs scale. So I'm excited to help Calvin and Air open their second location, get one-time customers back more frequently, supercharge the reviews, and a whole lot more.
So we had cars, help them reopen, we're current customers, supercharge reviews. So good reviews. All right, send them on.
Hi Alex, how you doing? My name is Calvin, and this is my wife Air.
Hi.
Welcome.
We're the owners of Basil & Co. Thai Cuisine in Diamond Bar. 2024, our revenue was $3.5 million. Gross profit was $670,000.
That kind of loud. 2044, 3.5 E, 25 profit. You guys are making damn so much money, but oh, I know you guys have to, so much. You guys have to pay employees. You guys have to get the food, probably transportation. Probably got in this Canada, they're probably taxing you niggas, bro. Oof, my days, bro. Was trying to. Oh, this is not in Canada though, but I'm not bad. But damn. Oh, you guys have to pay the location. I don't know if you guys are renting that location or you guys are like, you know, actually bought the land around it. I got some McDonald's shit, but nah. Hold up. I love couples doing business together, bro, and they're striving. Okay, it was founded.
Our net margins was 19% and served over 100,000 guests last year.
Okay. 19% margins, I can see we gotta up that. We gotta up the margins, bro.
First impressions, restaurants have the highest failure rate of all businesses. So the fact that they're at 19% margins, I would say that's good. I would love to see if we expand it. Now, some people might hear that and be like, I thought the average restaurant margins are smaller. Yeah, they sure are. And that also doesn't mean that we need to be constrained by that. So what is the goal?
So our goal is to open 20 restaurant locations in the next 5 to 10 years. And we want to bring in over $80 million in revenues.
Okay. 80 million.
We want to get there by providing nice and comfortable space for friends and family to gather over a delicious meal. Another mission that we have personally is to create environments for staff to showcase their talent and also receive competitive pay.
How'd you start the business?
Maybe 15 years ago. And that is when Calvin and I met in a Thai restaurant in Santa Monica. He was a busser and I was a server. So naturally, we talk, right? And then we talk about our big goal, wanting to become an entrepreneur and own a restaurant in the future. Well, that plan goes so well that I end up marrying him in 2019, opened our first restaurant, Basil & Co. in Diamond Bar, California. Within the first 3 years, we maxed out our capacity. We actually leased the next unit and we're able to meet the demand.
So you guys are leasing, okay?
But we are starting to max out again. So a sneak peek is our Ari Thai Eatery in Azusa, California, coming up soon.
Okay, so who do you serve?
So we serve our local communities, businesses, and families in Diamond Bar. Now, people who walk into the door, we see an age range between 25 to maybe 60. And we're in a very situated mid to high income neighborhood.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, how do you make money? Let's go through the numbers.
So our average food item is $16.
Okay.
Our most expensive one is $68, the Crying Tiger. Average ticket size is $60 to $80, $80 on the weekends. Takeout is 30%, dine-in is 70%. And our most popular dishes would be the Pad Thai, Pad See and Drunken Noodles.
So they get 70% in dining in person, 30% like Uber Eats and stuff like that, takeout. So I don't know if they have like their own takeout person or like the Uber Eats. Ooh, if they're Uber Eats, I know they're taking a portion of that. I know not there's Uber and Eats, and there's the other ones. I forgot what they're called, but yeah, I don't really do that shit too much now no more. And Drunken Noodles, alright, so 16, and they get 1% off of alcohol. Okay. Call in the bin. There you go.
Only 1% of our sales.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling here. So right off the bat, they have beer and wine. And the fact that they have 1% of sales from arguably the highest margin item that they sell, there's probably more we can find out and some big opportunities there. How do you get customers? How do they find out about you?
So we have organic page. It's about 50% of our business, we think. 1,300 reviews, 4.6
Okay,
stars.
that's good.
Google is 460 reviews at 4.7 stars. Instagram, Facebook. Word of mouth, our customers like to spread the word of mouth a lot. Paid ads, we do Yelp, $1,200 a month. We do affiliates, foodie collaborations on Instagram.
But word of mouth is really through our server talking to our customer, and when we are at the restaurant, we talk to our customer.
Right. And you'd say about half of them come from, they saw, hey, I saw
Yeah,
your Google
yeah.
reviews, I saw
My
your
mom
Yelp
was here
reviews.
yesterday. She said I need to come try, and they come try, and then they said I'm gonna go tell my friend to come try.
Got
and
it.
that's why I think word of mouth is a big thing for us as well.
I would say almost for food more than almost any other business, word of mouth is just huge.
I really believe that the food sells itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
Fahmee, guys. Fahmee has a good word of mouth. They have history in the Toronto community. They're on CP24. Like, people know their history, their brand story. From his father to him, you know.
On a long enough time horizon, the product of the business is the
That means, damn. I mean, he's in a competitive business. I hope he does it, Birdie.
only thing that matters. Marketing just pulls up your timeline forward. It gets more people introduced to your product.
I wonder where he markets. Or he gets most of the. Fahmee probably gets more from word to mouth. Or he gets my was a notification, but he probably gets word to mouth. He probably gets most of his things from word to mouth, and he probably does paid ads. And community just door people just see him. He's in the Malvern Mall. You know, he's in Malvern Mall, so he probably gets him. Okay, just and students too. So students pull up after school. He probably has a students to market to students and stuff. There's a school right next to Malvern, right next to Malvern Mall. So yeah, I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to understand Fahmee through this video. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, okay, they probably get more margin. They probably get a lot of revenue, but after paying everything out, probably a lot less. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he does paid ads. Content, I follow him on Instagram, so I feel like he does have to post a bit more. Yeah, just to say, he's a content person, just to get more reoccurring. I feel like most of his reoccurring customers are students and people in the Malvern area are just craving patties. I wonder what is the patty market, because it's very specialized, but it is also like a Caribbean restaurant. He does Caribbean stuff. I wonder what is his margins. Could he be better? I don't know.
Faster. And so marketing can accelerate growth, but it cannot create a good business. And so I think this is one of the big things that a lot of marketers don't understand, and this is something that took me years to figure out, which
Marketing is the fastest way to expose that you have a shitty business, bro. Shitty business.
is that being good at marketing sales can absolutely make you money, but it just accelerates how quickly you decline if you don't actually have a good product. But if you take it the other natural extreme, which is that even if you had zero marketing and one person eats, but it's so good, they tell 5 people, and then those 5 people come, and it's so good, they tell 5 people, you can quickly get to capacity if the product is good. And that works for services, that works for SaaS, that works for anything. Okay, so how many customers do you help? What's the sales velocity of the business?
Average day we do 340 guests, 2 to 3 on the weekdays and 400 to 500 on the weekends.
Okay,
So
so weekends are
around
significantly
340.
bigger. When you said the average order was
A
$80
day.
on the weekend, $60 during the week,
Yes.
is that off the same menu? Just people are ordering more?
Same
We only
menu.
have one menu.
Right.
Got it.
I would think that maybe the weekday, because a lot are business, so
Yeah.
like when they come in, they just order one plate of pad thai, right? That's
Sure.
$16. But during the weekend, it's more like a family, so it's like a bigger ticket.
What's holding you back?
So we actually have a few problems that we want to talk about. Like the first is to increase the sales during the non-peak hour. During the peak hour, we're good. We actually have line out the door, but during the non-peak hour, we still find a way to better fill the house. We also want to improve on the takeout sales and also alcohol sales. Because we are opening our second restaurant, we really want to get Alex's help and also guidance, because we opened our first restaurant and we kind of like just roll with it, right? And we're just like, oh, it turned out great, perfect. But now that we're thinking about scaling, we don't want to just roll with it anymore, right? The stake is higher. We're not open up with a small hole in the wall. We want to make it right at the get-go. So having Alex on board or guidance us, that's tremendously helpful. And then also the other reason why this is so important to me, especially with our like second venture, is because I just quit my full-time job and I am going to be committed and fully focused on this restaurant.
So increase alcohol sales, increase takeout sales, attribution for sure.
Right.
I think with this business particularly, it'll be more difficult to do attribution than maybe a traditional business. That's okay. I'm not as concerned about that. I'll introduce a couple of things that I think might be able to help us out. So looking at the problems that they presented, I think number one, we can increase sales during non-peak hours by actually changing pricing during peak hours. Second, how can we increase alcohol sales? Well, that's going to be through recruiting, hiring, and training a staff. I would say takeout sales and attribution I would put as kind of like the third priority for me going into this. What kind of promotional offers do you run to kind of attract customers?
We like to give free items instead of giving percentages off.
Big fan. So real quick, one of my big beliefs in business in general is not to give discounts. Basically, it's either full price or it's free. I'm a big fan of that, especially for food establishments. Like, you don't want to have people who become like discount seekers. Like, that's not good. Which I do want to be clear, I separate from, you know, if you have a prepayment discount for services or you have some sort of incentive for someone to buy like on a sales call or within 24 hours, that I see as different than like running a promotion that's like 20% off.
Why do you do that?
Not
Why
a
is it
huge
like
fan of
free?
that. I'd rather give a free item and then have a clear ascension path to how I'm going to get that person to become a full payment.
Like a free water
We
bottle?
especially like to do that on the big holidays,
Like a fortune
Mother's
cookie?
Day, Valentine's Day, Christmas.
Okay.
So mostly seasonal, nothing that's standing or rotating. Do you have a process in place right now for basically what recommendations your servers recommend, number one, and then number two, what things they can add on to their orders?
No, we do not have that yet.
Okay, there's gonna be a really big opportunity there. Okay, and then in terms of encouraging people to come for that second visit, is there anything that you do special for first-time customers?
I think it would just treat everyone the
19%
same.
percent
Uh-huh.
margins.
No, that's okay.
write that shit down.
I have ideas. I have ideas.
Yeah, no, we don't do anything special.
No, you're good. You're totally fine. I know you want to increase your weekday volume.
Right.
What have you done or tried so far?
We're thinking about doing a happy hour on the weekday.
Okay. And you haven't done that yet. It's an idea that you have.
No, I think currently what we do is for the weekend, like our entree, for example, like the stir fry, you have to order rice on the side, but for the weekday, it's actually come as a set, right? So you order a stir fry, let's say you order hot basil, it already come with the rice.
Okay, so it's a
that's
surcharge of rice on the weekend. Is that what you're saying?
On a normal basis, yes, except for lunch. Lunch, we do that together.
Okay, so tell me about this new store that you guys are thinking about opening.
Okay. Ari's is in Azusa.
Yeah.
It's actually a little bit bigger. This time we actually have a bigger bar with bar seats. We wanted to put bar seats in this time to make sure that when the guests are waiting outside, sometimes up to an hour, that we have something to sell them at the bar. And also it's a bit bigger, so it's about 100-seater and going from a 72-seater to a 100-seater.
Yeah, I was curious about that because, you know, one of our big things is nail it then scale it, right? And so I know that you guys are trying to, from obviously trying to hit 80 million. So if you're going to try and do multiple locations, we have to make sure that the model is super dialed,
Exactly, yeah.
right?
So I feel like on the paper, it seems like we're doing good. I mean, like I have no complaint about it, but I know in terms of like operational, there are lots of things that we can still tweak and do more.
Yeah.
And that is why we want to do this between the two concepts as a test drive, and then we'll take the winning model and then we'll just go from there.
Got it. Well, do you want to improve this location though? The main location for now?
Yes, of course, yes.
And what's the plan for the grand opening for the next one?
Grand opening, we actually will not want to do until like 6 months later. I just want to make sure that we have 100% operating smoothly.
You mean you'll soft open?
We
it?
soft open, yes.
Yeah.
So we for sure will soft open. But in terms of grand opening, we haven't really put any package together because we think it's going to be 3 to 6 months down the line.
This is
So one of
my
our internal
soft opening.
mottos is nail it, then scale it. And the reason for that is that a lot of times small business owners will get really aggressive and really excited and want to expand faster before they've really solidified their core model. Basically, it's like it might take you less time to get your second location, but it'll take you more time to get your 10th location. And so I want to make sure that those fundamental unit economics are right. How much does it cost to open? How quickly can we get it to be profitable? How long does it take for that location to pay for itself entirely? What does our grand opening promotion look like? How do we recruit, hire, and staff a new place and get the culture to be what it needs to be? And so these are a lot of the questions that happen, especially in a heavy staff business like restaurants, where there's a lot of people that work under one establishment. Okay, well, I have buckets and buckets and buckets of notes. So I have lots of stuff for you guys that I think we'll be able to help with. I'm going to focus primarily on this location, and then.
So, Fahmee, how much are you profitable right now? How much did it cost to even open that store? Did you know, and how much will it take you guys to like get into like the green, if that makes sense? Because you guys have to open it, you guys have a few employees. The cost of goods is I'm even thinking like, where do you guys get your goods from? You know, I hope it's from a good like supplier, or like, I don't know. Are your staff trained properly, or is it just okay? Some people come in and you order and la. That's what he says. But let's continue.
I'll talk kind of at the end about kind of what we can do to hopefully set up the second location to succeed. Cool.
Cool.
All right, awesome.
And we also bring a special gift for you, Alex. So
But wait, there's more?
Yeah. Before we get into business, we gotta feed ourselves first, right?
It's customary. Yeah, I rushed into the business too fast.
No.
We spend a lot of time thinking about what we're going to serve Alex, because we want to make sure he loves the food, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, well, he's, like the fitness guy, he's like the training, so we thought, okay, maybe meat is a good choice, like packed with protein. So Crying Tiger happened to be our best seller, and it's something that we're really proud of. So that is definitely is a no-brainer. The pineapple curry prawn is a little bit of a risk we want to take because it's not on the menu. It's something I tried making at home. I loved it. And I just want to see like if other people will like it. So he is my guinea pig. And last but not least is the mango sticky rice. I think that is a Thai staple, and we just have to showcase who we are, Thai person, and that's what we want to bring to the table.
So I'm gonna eat all of this and then we'll start. No. Thank you. That was great. Okay, so what is this?
River prawns, fresh river prawns.
River
Okay,
prawns.
nigga.
I don't even know what that is.
A whole mukbang
Really
happening
good.
here.
Really good.
Special dish.
All right, I have to try this. All right, you won't be insulted if I just don't finish everything, right?
No.
Okay. I am gonna try all this. I can see why it's doing so well. That was delicious. That was unbelievable. This was obviously everything was food. That was exceptional.
Seeing Alex finish that red curry in 2 bites, like, oh yeah, we might need to put that on the menu. That's why we do this.
Fill my heart.
Oh, the river prawns were fire. Really, really good. I mean, it was obvious why the restaurant's done well, because the food is good. And this is just like the simplest thing in the entire world. And I use restaurants as a simple analogy because everybody gets it. It's like a lot of people obsess about all the marketing and all the sales hacks. At the end of the day, if you have good food, people will come back and tell their friends.
The product has to be good, dude.
That's really what it comes down to. And they focused on the thing that mattered most. I'm happy to help with all these
A
little
good
things that
product
maybe
will
with the
sell
business
itself.
model, but they had the thing that matters. Because if they had bad food, it didn't matter how many taxes I was going to give them. They were just going to get people in the door and they were going to leave and never come back. And so they'd have to become a marketing business in order to stay alive because their product was inferior. They don't have that problem, and so I'm stoked to see what happens. The kind of 4 categories, actually I'm gonna split it into 5. So we've got pricing, we'll talk about. Number 2 is the actual menu itself. So I'm gonna ask you a bunch of questions about the menu because I think this is gonna dramatically affect average order value. Number 3 is gonna be training. So this is kind of the staff stuff that we're talking about.
For second location,
Number 4 is gonna be alcohol. So I'm gonna split this out
Not quite
specifically.
sure.
And then 5 will go to next location, okay? So those are kind of gonna be the big overarching topics. So what I want to do is kind of like, are there ways that we can immediately potentially increase the profit of the location without dramatically changing the operations? And so there's 2 things that we could do. One thing that you can do, and I remember seeing this at a restaurant, is that you can just add your processing fee and you just put that on your menu, which says plus 3% processing fee for credit cards. right? And you can do 2.9, you can do 3.9, whatever you want. And then that way, when they get the bill, it'll just say processing fee, whatever. And it doesn't usually affect anyone's take rate from like what they choose to order and whatnot. But for you guys, with a 3% increase would be like a 15% increase in profit from one thing. So we don't need to do that. I'm just like, that's one consideration you can do.
Okay.
The second thing that you
Giving
can
options,
do
variables.
is, I noticed that you were at 0.00 in terms of your pricing. Was there a reason for that versus doing like $16.99?
I felt like the $16.99 or $16.95 thing
Yeah.
was kind of old school. I
Okay.
just want to make it simple and clean.
Well, I'll briefly push back just because where you're at pricing wise. If you were, I would say higher end. I think you guys are upper middle, right? You're not like
Yeah, that's
here,
right.
right?
Yeah.
I would say yes. If you're serving, $29 to $50 entrees as the primary, then I think having 0.00 could make sense. Typically with luxury brands, they don't have 99. But I think that you're in a spot where I don't think it would detract from your brand to have $16.99. And the reason for this, like, most people make their judgment off of that character in terms of pricing,
Yes.
right? And so this, though it may seem really small, if your average ticket is $16, this is 6% absolute, which for you guys is plus 30% in profit margin for the business. So like if you went from 19% currently,
Yeah, I'm 19.
because
yeah.
that's a 6% increase in total in average revenue, that would take you to 25% margins from that, which is a 30% increase in profit. So that $670,000 in profit would be an extra 220,000 a year from one move. I don't think it's going to affect your sales. That's just me personally, because it's like we're not even changing any of the characters.
Right.
You're already kind of like paying the fee of being at $16. I don't think anyone buys 16 doesn't buy $16.99. That's just my opinion. Yeah, so this is a monster moment. It's like, yeah, one change that probably has no effect on your sales velocity could have a dramatic effect on your profitability as a business. When we're talking 20 bucks, 10 bucks, like this is a high volume business. Those tiny little dimes and nickels and pennies,
And mixing,
they add up
we
in a
in
huge
mixing,
way.
we say
And like I said at the
small
beginning,
increments.
restaurants are notorious for having
We
small
make
margins.
small moves
If we can have
as the bigger
30%
picture,
lift
and mixing the
from
same
one
thing,
tiny
same
change in terms of
methodology.
ordering the menu,
You don't want to
we
make
should do
big.
that. Let's just use
tiny,
simple math. If every person
tiny
who walked
little
into their
things that just
restaurant
add up
last year
together, you
only
know?
bought 2 items, that would be $2 extra per person. They served 100,000 customers last year. That would be $200,000 dropped to the bottom line.
I've never thought about, okay, if I just add 99 cents, how much would it translate into like the percentage of sales increase? It's just like a light bulb, it's just like pop, and then we're just like, we're doing it.
The next one is because you're turning people away on weekends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you considered having weekend pricing? Saturdays and Sundays or Fridays and Saturdays, the menu that you hand them is different. So you've got weekend menus and then you've got weekday menus. And so then the weekend menu can add $2 per dish. It's this surge pricing, fundamentally. It's just like Uber. Like if it's really busy, they charge more. If it's less busy, they charge less. And so I'd rather you just add it on the days that you have it, and they won't even feel like it's being added. You're just giving them the weekend menu,
Right.
right? It's just like different places have like a
Of course, this is optional. Like their business is going good, so if it depends on them, like morality wise, or like, okay, do I want to add this extra 99 cents, or like, and feel like I'm just trying to get the most, or you can just be like, like I said, he's giving advice, how to like increase your margins in a sense from 19 to 25, but you don't, like you said, they're making enough money. It depends on them, because their business is it's profitable. I'll just say, bro, get more recurring customers and just dial down on the training. Like make sure the first location is good on training, good on like reoccurring customers, like you guys know like where you guys getting your customers, the data and stuff like that, and how can we do more of that, and yeah, just structure in a way where it makes the person want to buy more, makes the person perceive your brand more, so you want to come back. But yeah, these are, like I said, bro, if you want to do that, you know what I'm saying, because sometimes it might, some businesses do that, but they do it to the point where it's like, okay, you a penny pincher, like you trying to get every, you know what I mean, like I'm saying, it's like, damn, you know what I mean, it's like going to your favorite restaurant and you realize that now the price of the thing that you like is a lot more expensive. It's like, damn, But yeah.
lunch menu and a dinner menu. The dinner menu is more expensive than the lunch menu. No one's offended by that. It's just kind of a standard practice. How does that feel?
Worth
That's what you
considering.
asked. That's what.
Okay.
How does that
You know,
feel?
be scary to do all three at the same time.
No, I don't think you necessarily should. But I
I
wanted.
particularly like this one the most. I've thought about it, but I think we never actually have that percentage breakdown on how much is going to increase.
Yeah.
So we didn't see like the whole picture and how it will impact profitability. I think this one actually
It's a
resonated
30% increase.
Well, this one definitely resonated with me the most.
Yeah.
In terms of processing,
Yeah. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. This is why I lay these out, and it's a lot about you and how you feel. It's your business, right?
Yeah.
And so if this feels light to you,
Yeah.
you're like, I think we could just, literally the cost of this is reprinting the menu. That's it, right?
Yeah.
So check this out. So this is the $100 million scaling roadmap, and they are at stage 5 productized. So they've got probably 20-ish people who work for them. And if we look at the constraints of the business for them, let's look at the things that I'm talking about them with. Most of the scaling roadmap I tailor more to service-based businesses, and the reason for that is because 78% of businesses are
This is what I want to say. I'll just say refine your first location so you guys can open a second location.
services, and so I tend to skew in my language about that, but the actual things that are happening are the same, right? And so
So now he's asking, he's showing how to increase the margins, and I just want to see how is he gonna give them tips on how to refine it. I know that's more I'm focused on. Okay, how is he gonna restructure the offer? So why does he want to look at the menu? Why does he put alcohol, and like a second thing? You know what I mean? Training, of course, you already know. Like I know what I mean by training the staff to do certain things, and how is he going? But with the goal, is training the staff going to help with revenue, or is it going to help with sales? Like, so many questions going to ask.
CS playbook to onboard, all of that is going to be around how are we getting customers this consistent experience. We talk heavily about training, right? Connecting CS to product. That's getting feedback loops based on what people are eating and what they want, like spinning that, make something new to sell them. I mean, they functionally had alcohol, but they weren't selling it. So now we're pushing that a little bit stronger. And from a finance perspective, like we need to get better at their finances, which is why a lot of the improvements that I had were very pricing centric, probably because they didn't have good enough financials to be able to see, oh wow, when we sell this, this product, we're almost breaking even, but when we sell these ones, we make a ton. They didn't have that kind of information, which would have helped them reconfigure their menu to be the most profitable menu possible that also brings customers back. And if you're like, man, that would be useful to know what stage of scaling I'm at, all you have to do is go to acquisition.com/roadmap, put in your business information. This didn't have good enough financials. Proof perspective, like we need to get better at their finances, which is why a lot of the improvements that I had were very pricing centric, probably because they didn't have good enough financials to be able to see, oh wow, when we sell this, this product, we're almost breaking even, but when we sell these ones, we make a ton. They didn't have that kind of information, which would have helped them reconfigure their menu to be the most profitable menu possible that also brings customers back. And if you're like, man, that would be useful to know what stage of scaling I'm at, all you have to do is go to acquisition.com/roadmap, put in your business information, and we have them. And if you want my team to take a look at the business and on the Cash Cow Show, on the thank you page, you can schedule a menu, and we'd love to. So with the menu, how did you think about laying out what they get when they open up the menu at your establishment?
Yeah,
the way I
that's the
thought of
question.
the design of the menu is the way the customers think when they sit down.
Sure. Okay.
Which is order a drink, order an appetizer, and then afterwards focus on like the big piece, and then the small complimenting piece to go with it. So like I would like drinks, appetizers, specials, like the big entrees, and then carbs at the end.
Okay. Okay. So on the menu, do you have highlighted boxes for the key items?
I think we have a section for the specials, yes, and then a special section for our dessert, I believe.
Yes, we have special section highlighted.
Yeah.
We are working on an updated menu right now, and what we did is like when we laid it out, let's say fried rice, we will highlight what we want to sell.
Yeah. Good.
So that's what we do.
So there's two components to it. So let's say you've got your sides, you've got your appetizers, you got your carbs, whatever. Within each of those boxes, number one is I would rank them from gross profit, top to bottom. So which of these is the most profitable? We'll put that first because that's the first thing people are going to consider. And then the second thing is I would have your highlight box, which is the, and I put at the bottom of the menu, like, if this is your first time visiting, this is the one you can't miss, right? That way, it's like, that way people, because no one wants to make the decisions. Fundamentally, what's good,
What's
right?
good, yes.
Exactly. It's number one. So that way, if you have each of the highest gross profit margin things that also happen to be the things that most people love, then those should be the same idea.
So basically, they have the data. They know what what food sells. So like, what I like to doing is restructuring in a way where, okay, we know these sell, so let's put it in the front page. So like so you make the decision you take the decision away from that. So you take the load off of it. Okay, oh this it, these are good. All right, sure, no more. Let me try it. Let me get one of those. So it's like already there strategically. I forgot what it's called. It's like graphic design. It's like graphic design in a sense. If you study graphic designing, it's a way to structure words, how humans read, like left to right, and what we focus on. So that's basically what he's doing. That's how I take it.
That we want to make sure that it's
Like
really clear and it's
posters,
prominent on the menu per box that they're kind of working through. So any kind of business that has a menu, and the term having a menu comes from restaurants because many people have eaten at restaurants, but you go to a mechanic shop, there's a menu, right? And so in general, I like having a couple things to be true about my menus. One is that I prefer to start at the highest prices.
Yep.
And the reason for that is anchors, and they've done research studies on this in terms of how they lay out like wine menus.
This is $20. Oh my gosh! Oh, that's only $16 compared to that $20. That looks like a deal. Context. So you're starting with a context.
If you put the most expensive one on the top, it anchors the remaining prices underneath of it. And so number one, I like having higher prices higher. Number two, I like higher gross profit margins because two things could be $16, but one of them might cost the restaurant $6, one of them might cost them $1. And remember, that 99 cents that we added 30% to the profit of the business if executed, no sales velocity drops. And so us having just get more people to buy a thing that has $2 or $3 more of profit could make an enormous difference to this business. The third piece that I want to hit on is what's the stuff that brings people back? Like what's the stuff that's so good that they're like, God, I have this again. And so balancing those three priorities is how I think through laying out a menu, whether it's a services business or it's a restaurant. So the next thing that I have for you, this is just menu. We're going to get into training stuff in a second with like how do we increase alcohol sales and things like that. But what I want to do is increase the likelihood that people are already thinking about it. Right? And so there's two things that I want to think about. Number one is with each of the dishes, you could put underneath of it pairs well with. What drink this would go well with. And if they're reading it, they're going to be thinking, oh, well, they're saying it goes well with this. You will get more than 1% of people to buy alcohol just from adding what it pairs
and then they just
with.
look at the menus.
Yes.
Framing it.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
love that idea. I love
Yeah,
that.
and this is all
Yes.
profit, right?
Yep.
Pairs with. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So this may be a wink wink from my next book that's coming out, but there are a number of ways that you can make a customer more valuable. There are 8 of them. One of them is a cross-sell, which is, do you want fries with that? For them, it's going to be, do you want an alcoholic beverage with that? And so what I want to do is make it as easy as possible for the customer to say yes, and I want to make it easy as possible for the staff. Easy for them, it's going to be
Selling and related supplementary products on machine. So if you're a restaurant, it's just like, okay, it's pairing, okay, just matching, okay, that looks good. It's like you're recommending them. Like I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I be going to restaurants I don't really know about. I'm just like, yo, what's good here? I'm just looking at the menu and shit. I'm just looking there for hours, like, what should I get? But if you structure it in a way where, okay, like this is the most popular fudge, let me try that. There's like a Chinese restaurant there. I'm not gonna, I forgot what it's called. But yeah, bro, there's a big ass menu. If they structured it differently, I probably would have bought a little more things, It's like close to the Tim Hortons and the massage place. And the Service Ontario. You know what I mean? Like the is it Service Ontario or Service Canada? I don't know, but it's like it's Tim Hortons right there. And it's like the 85 goes there. The 85. Mama's Roti. Mona's Roti. It's close to Mona's Roti too. You know what I mean? It's a Chinese spot. But even Mona's Roti, bro, I gotta look at their menu. I gotta see how it's structured. I wanna see if it's structured officially. I might even look at Fahmee's menu and see how it is structured and if we can improve the structure.
do you want an alcoholic beverage with that? And so what I want to do is make it as easy as possible for the customer to say yes, and I want to make it easy as possible for the staff to not forget. And so both of the tactics that I'm going to lay out for them are going to mirror those things. How to make it easy for the customer, remind them to do this thing. And the thing is they're getting 1% of their sales from alcohol, which is super high margin, right? So if we can get that from like 1% to 6%, so just adding 5% to the business in terms of total revenue from this very high gross profit product line, then again, we have another 25% increase in profitability. And that's just going from 1 to 6%. If you flip the table from no one's getting an alcoholic beverage to every person buys one, the profit of that table jumps through the roof. And so we only need like 1 out of 10 tables to do that.
We always thought that the alcohol should be better than it is, and would be a huge opportunity if we could improve it. And I mean, we see industry standards being like 5 to 15%, maybe even 20, right? And we're at less than 1. So that's a really big weak point right there.
Do you have specials in terms of drinks?
No.
Okay. So I would recommend having one special that's a drink. So just say like, hey, we also just freshly made a Thai mint, Mai Tai, whatever. You know, whatever cocktail you want. It's made fresh here on staff. It's super refreshing for the summer or whatever months. You know, make it seasonal for, you know, whatever time it is. And that way, some people were coming back. It's like, ooh, that sounds good. Like all we want is like, that sounds good. And then it's like, great, we have the purchase. So I would include that as the first thing. So basically, there's hey, before you get into drinks, can I say the drink special? We make one every week, and we spend a lot of time. We taste test a bunch in the back, and we come up with the best one, and it's freshly made here, blah, 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 blah. And I think people would really like that. So rotating one drink special. There we go. So tell me about the actual tabletop. Do you have anything on the table at all? Do you have like one of those little A-frames or one of those spread open? You know what I'm talking about? Like where they
The
just...
table?
Yeah, you don't do that?
Not
Okay.
yet, yeah.
Okay, is that too below where you want to be in terms of vibe of the dining?
I'm okay with putting it.
Okay.
Especially if it's like, you know, a special.
Yeah, like
Something
a
that we
special.
want to
Yeah,
introduce.
yeah.
So I would probably do that because people like the visual. So I probably
So it's
have...
just a difference right now, right? Customers sit down, we
Yeah.
bring our menu. So we have like a menu and like a special menu. So the special menu have like all the picture and the recommendation. Our menu is just, you know, like the list of
Yeah.
item with ingredients, but it's not left on the table. So when you're saying like having like a little kind
Yeah.
of like a plasman or
Yes.
it's kind
That's
of
what
like
I'm saying.
there in their face.
Yeah,
while they-
because also I'm thinking about the servers, right? Like how can we help them do their job easier? And so if they can just point and then the visual's right there and they can see it, I think that's pretty compelling, right? And I think the way that you make that look is what will determine whether it looks cheap or whether it looks nice.
Yeah.
Obviously, I wouldn't go lots of neon colors with the tropical background, right? Like that would probably not be that, right? So, you know, keep the look and feel of it upscale, but we still want to have the really nice, elegant descriptor underneath of, you know, once a week, the entire team tries, you know, 5 different drinks. We pick the best one, and then that's what we decide as a team to offer for the week. Because if we can get the team bought in on it, they're like, oh my God, it was so good.
Yeah.
Like you guys should try it.
At first, we're like,
Speaking on that, what's his name again? Green Merchant. They do that. They ask the team, or even LCBO. They do that same thing. They ask the team to taste, and the team decides. Okay, that's what I like. I fuck with that. Let's put that probably top shelf or that. And Green Merchant, they have every employee rate, which one, what's their favorite, what they do, they recommend. If you go there, Green Merchant, there's a girl called KJ. If you like KJ, I fuck with KJ. Oh, this is what she's recommending. You know what I mean? All right, let me go for that. She's also a baddie, so she's like, you know, all right, the baddie's recommending. Let me go next morning.
oh, we don't. Should we do it? Should we not do it? We don't want to be like kind of like a fast food joint. That's why that's deter us. But then the fact that he said, well, it depends. You can design it in a way that is nice, presentable.
Package it,
and
package it,
like,
package
yes,
it.
we can do it. How come I don't think about that before?
We really are doing something very similar. We have like wine or specials menu that we give out with the menus, but the table tent, it stays on the table, so no one's ever gonna forget. It's always there.
Are you talking about like maybe just one item, special one item, or is it like maybe like a few item on the
Me personally, one.
just one?
I
Oh,
want
you wanna
to
focus
drive.
on-
Yeah, exactly. For me, this is me as a consumer now
Right.
talking. When I see like 10 things, it just is like another menu.
Yeah.
Right. I want to draw attention to one specific thing, really clear image. You know, the benefit is underneath, and then they draw my attention to it. And to me, that's really good. Now, the back of it, we're going to save for some review stuff. So I'll get to that in a second.
In a sense, what I'm hearing is we want to do the job for them. We want to take the friction of them having to decide, and we kind of like recommend things for them. You know, that's what I'm getting is like we are doing the job for them. We're making it a lot easier to decide. Okay, this is what it is. This is what we're recommending. You know what I mean?
On table, one item special. Okay. We good on this so far? All right, good. So let's talk about getting people to come back, right? So we want to have
Reoccurring
a way
customers.
to identify who the new customers are. Like, hey, it's your first time dining with us, right? is there something that we can do to identify to everybody else that, like, if someone says yes to that, can we put like just you know, a drink coaster on their table that's a certain color, or a napkin that's a certain color, whatever. But the reason it's so important is because then the whole staff knows, hey, these are first timers, right? And so obviously you want to give everyone a great experience, but just knowing it's someone's first time helps,
Yes.
right? And so one is identify first timers, and B, I would give them some sort of surprise free thing at the end, since it's their first time. So that's if they have, you know, a dessert or something like that, whatever the, you know, whatever the cheapest dessert is. Yeah, something that would be, but people remember things, something called peak end bias. And so people remember things, two key moments of every experience. They remember the peak emotional experience, and they remember how things ended.
Yeah.
And so if we can just really make that ending really nice, I think that would be something like surprise dessert for first timers. And what I would want to do is then give coupon of some sort. And the way that you can do this, if you want to do it classy, is that you have the manager put their card and then write free dessert on the back and then hand it to them. Okay? It's way better than a coupon, right? Because then it feels like it's a personalized
My
gift.
bad, yeah, I kinda
Okay,
missed
so it would be something like surprise. And so people remember things, two key moments of every experience. They remember the peak emotional experience, and they remember how things ended.
Okay.
And so if we can just really make that ending really nice, I think that would be something like surprise dessert for first timers. And what I would want to do is then give coupon of some sort. And the way that you can do this, if you want to do it classy, is that you have the manager put their card and then write free dessert on the back and then hand it to them.
This is one thing Fahmee did to me. I went there. I wanted to ask. I think it was a jerk chicken sandwich, but it wasn't ready yet. So, and I bought a patty. So he's like, okay, let me just pay for the patty now, and I'll come back with it. Like, nah. He told me, I know it. Just go with the patty, Brady. Just go with the patty. So that stuck with me. It's like, you just let me go with patty without paying for it. I was like, come back, and we'll pay for it. You know what I mean? Come back when you come back, you'll pay for the patty. But he let me get out the store. He gave me a free. Basically, I could have went with the patty, and I couldn't have come back, and I would have had a free patty. But he's like, he kind of built that trust. So that's kind of like what he's saying. Is okay. Now I was like, okay, I might come back there. I'm like real nigga, bro. I might come back. I'm gonna get a patty again. You know what I'm saying? So they're building, and that was the first time I came. So I'm just giving you an example. I was like, from the point of view of a customer, if I'm going to your store, or you saying, we remember how it feels, and at the end, like, how did it end? That's exactly the same for learning. Learning is like a smile. You kind of remember the beginning, then in the middle, it kind of goes down, your retention goes down. You know what I'm saying? And at the end, you kind of remember the end.
It's way better than a coupon, right? Because then it feels like it's a personalized gift, right? And so you say, hey, next time you come in, just bring this, and I'll have another dessert for you in the house. And so now it's like we're creating that loop. We want to bring them back in. Does that make sense? Does that feel okay?
Yep.
All right. So this is for first timers, okay? For existing customers, I think you can offer the free dessert in exchange for reviews. Now, I know you guys do something like that now, correct?
We have
Sometimes.
done, yeah, we have done it.
We've done it before. Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of free drink / free dessert for review. And the time that I found it to be most effective is really at point of sale. So basically when they get the check. Now, I have a couple ways of doing this. So I want you to tell me which one feels, just kind of like I said, the pricing thing earlier. I'm going to give you 2 or 3 different ways of doing this, and you tell me the one that feels better for you. Okay? So the first way is, hey, if you guys want, I can take care of one of the drinks. If you're just willing to leave us a review, it would mean the world to us. We're a small family-owned business. And if they do that, then you say, cool, let me take the check back. I'll take it off and I'll come back with it. And so then it's like, great, every one of these, and it's at the point of sale. So you want to give the discount now. The whole idea of like, if you leave a review, next time you'll get, it's like, no one cares. Right? They'll just pay and no one gives. So it's like, it has to be immediate. So that's the first version. So free for review is thing 1. Okay, that's the first version. The second version of this is when the check gets delivered, the manager comes after when it's sitting there or whatever before it gets scooped up and says, hey, by the way, your server's name was Judy. And just, Judy gets a small bonus if she gets over, 10 5-star reviews in a month. That way it's like, we're doing it for Judy, not doing, so then you don't have to give anything away for free, but then you kind of just have the reciprocity of if Judy did a good job, you know, you can give her a $50, you know, thing. So this is the manager ask. Those are probably my two favorite ways of doing it. So either the immediate one in exchange for something, or, hey, can you do it because of the staff that you liked?
Right.
Either one of those feel better to you?
The first one.
The first
You like
one.
the first better?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what we kind of do from time to time, but we're not consistent.
Yeah. So that'll get into training, which we'll get into in a second. But because of the business that you're in more than anything else, it's so reviews driven, like online reviews. You know, if you took your reviews from, you know, 1,300 reviews to 13,000 reviews, the amount of, you know, people that are coming through the door, and like all we have to do, you serve 100,000 people this last year or total.
Just last year.
Yeah. So if we got 10% of people to leave a review, it would, I mean, it would change things for the business. It would be, and so it's like, do we think one, and the thing is you have multiple people at the table.
Yeah.
And so where this gets kind of interesting, hear me out, is that you could say, hey, if you each leave a review, then I can get all your drinks. And in one table, we can get 5 reviews.
Right.
And so, mind you don't have to do this forever. It's just, and this is obviously thinking about the next location too.
Yes.
Would I be willing to give up the cost of a drink in order to get a review? For sure. Wouldn't even think about it.
Nope.
Right.
Not even
And so, right. And so that's, you're willing to make the trade. And the thing is, it's because it's on the check right now. They're like, sure, I like this place. This was great. I'll save $5, whatever. I would have done it for free, except they wouldn't have. But, right. But like that little incentive helps out. So for brick and mortar
That's the word,
services or
incentive.
restaurants, just
Incentive.
local Main Street businesses,
Okay.
the vast majority of people make their decisions by searching online before they go. I mean, when you're about to go to a restaurant, what do you look at? You just look on Yelp, you look on Grubhub, whatever, and then you see the reviews. And so I don't know about you, if I'm like looking at a dessert place and it's got 3.5 stars, I'm not going. I'm not going to go. I'll just go to one that has 4.5 stars. Like, why would I risk it? People only go out a certain amount of times
I
per month.
remember I was
They're not
craving
gonna
some
blow
Caribbean
their
food. I'm like,
one
what
time
is
out
that?
on a
I've
3.5
been
star
searching the
place.
best
They're just not
Caribbean
going to
food
do it.
over here,
And so
bro.
we need to boost the hell out of that so that not only do we have good reviews, but we have a ton of them.
Yeah.
And so let me give you a different example. So let's say that you've got one place that has 55-star reviews and it's a 5.0. And there's another restaurant that's 13,000 and it's a 4.7. Where are you going? 4.7, 13,000, no question, because you know this is a business. Like 13,000 reviews are like, holy cow, like this is probably iconic. This is probably a destination, which if you're a small business owner, what higher praise could you want?
So when I read the review, it's really give us just not comfort but also encouragement, right? And if I feel it, I am sure anyone who come on our Yelp page, read that review, will feel the same way. So to me, that it's important is how we communicate with our guests.
I was thinking about a way to increase the average order value, right? And so in the e-commerce world, it's like you get free gifts over a certain amount of spend or you get free shipping. I'm trying to think of a way that we could tastefully do that within this business, which is like, it'd probably be better for takeout than I think in dining, which is like at $50 or at $100, wherever, you know, if the vast majority sit are at 60, right? It's $60, whatever it is. It's like, then we want to put the free gift at like 75 or 80. And so maybe on weekends you make it 100, on the weekdays you make it 80. So you just push that extra $20. It's like, hey, just so you know, you get an extra full, whatever I just had, for orders over $80. And I think that'll nudge a decent amount of people. Just put it right above where they're currently at, and it's like you get a full another order on top. And you guys have good gross margins on the food, because I just want to bump it up. And you saw with the 99-cent thing,
Yeah.
$1 or $2 in this business makes all the difference in the world. And so this is basically an AOV, so average order value increase, with break points above current average threshold.
And for this particular one, do you foresee it doing as like part of our business going forward, or is it supposed to be kind of like tied to special event or like certain time of the year?
So the reason I said takeout is because if you're on the phone or something like that, or if it's on an order page online, it doesn't feel weird to me. Like, because we have to think about obviously the servers, right? Like
Right.
they can only remember so many things.
Yeah, this is actually a lot of information too.
Oh, sure, yeah. But because what we're going to think about this is from the experience of the guest, right? So they're going to come in. Are you new? Yes, great, cool. So they know if they're new or not.
Yeah.
Then they're going to say, you know, can I tell you about the drink special? Yes. Then they walk them through the drink special, and then we get way more people to do it. People are also going to ask questions because it says it pairs well with.
You're right.
Right, and so a lot of people are going to ask questions about that, and then you're going to get more upsells, which they're going to want because their tips are going to go up. So they're going to want to sell the offer,
Yes.
right? So they have an incentive to learn that stuff. And then basically from that point, there's really nothing different except at the very end, they're going to do this. So there's not a huge amount that we just have to know, are they a first time customer? We're going to make sure we do the drink special. And then at the end, we're doing this. 3 things.
Yep.
That's it. So as much, I know we talked about a lot, but in terms of what they have to do, it's not too much.
Reduce down to
Yeah.
We will worry about adding more work to our worker, right? But then the way that Alex showed us today is not adding more work. It's just adding pure profit. So
Simple solution.
simple
Actually, really
solution, and
simple.
we were complicating the whole thing and not able to get past our own thoughts.
So 1 out of 3 strategies actually succeed in a business, and that's a McKinsey study that they did. And some businesses have 2 out of 3 strategies succeed. And the big difference is culture, which is the reward and punishment that exists within a business, which is fundamentally like, how do people behave? How do people do stuff? And so this is a people heavy business. And so I wanted to not just give them a bunch of, here's all the stuff that you can do, but I wanted to translate that into real world. How are you going to get your staff to do it? Right? Because if they don't ask people what beverage they want or ask them if they want to get dessert, very simple lines, but if they don't do it, it's a huge cost to the business. And so we had to make sure that they went home with clear items of like, this is how I'm going to train the staff and make sure that they do this every time. Otherwise, this is just a lot of fun entertainment, but nothing's going to happen to the business.
You think we could change this coupon card to sign up for our loyalty program, you get free mango sticky rice on your next visit? Oh, but you said you like the physical card.
I like the physical card a ton. And if you're like, hey, if you're worried about losing this, just take a picture of it and just show it to me on your phone when you come back. That way that people can bring it up. And what if they share it and people who came got the picture of the back of the card? Like, so they brought new customers in. Like, oh no. Right, so it's okay. So you can have them take the picture of it and be like, hey, if you feel like you're gonna wash your jeans and it's gonna get, it's torn to shreds, you can take a picture of it too, and that way you have it.
Okay.
It's a little thing. The only reason I hesitate with the loyalty thing is just like, how many people are actually part of loyalty programs for restaurants?
Restaurants, I'm not sure, but cafes is normal, right?
Yeah, no. Oh, so they have like the punch card and they have all that stuff.
I was thinking the
Because you
same
said
thing.
you wanted to be more on the
I was thinking the same thing for Fahmee. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, yo, you know those punching things? Like, after you punch a certain amount of times, you come back, you get a free item. I was thinking like maybe Fahmee can do that. Maybe like get a free patty or something after a while. I'm thinking maybe Fahmee paying like, yo, you can buy this item, and your patty instead of $3 is $2 or something, like just reframing it, packaging it that way. But reoccurring customers, even putting in the window, like where you can sit down so people can eat, can stay in the store and eat. Sometimes you want them to stay, maybe like after eating they might get thirsty. You know what, let me buy something else. You know what I mean? But these are things I'm just thinking.
upscale side. I have a whole thing on loyalty programs. I didn't get into it because I didn't feel like it was necessarily the best feel. I can talk about it and then you guys can decide. So I know you guys right now, you do 3. If they, on their 3rd one, they get free sticky rice, right? When they come back, they do like
On their birthdays, they get free sticky rice.
Yeah.
Probably every 200 spend, they get a free Thai tea, but we can bump that up if we.
So I think you'd have to sell me on the benefit of the loyalty program, and I probably wouldn't even. I just hate all I think of when I think loyalty program is somebody's just gonna spam text me all the time, and so I never want to get right. And so for me, the loyalty program would be like, you get 3 things. Is it on your birthdays? We're gonna send you free stuff. We're just gonna give you a coupon for coming in. When you're here, you get your first alcoholic drinks free, or something like that. Because if one has one, sometimes they're more likely to have a second, right? 1 per table or per party. And then number 3, when we have a wait, which you do on weekends, we prioritize you. Right. Now, for me, that 3rd one alone would be enough of a reason. So I like that. I mean, I think a lot of people would do it for that benefit alone.
I wonder
So
how many
I'll
students
put
go to
I'll let
Fahmee.
you guys work the
maybe you
specific
can
details
market to
of
them.
what you want in there. Because also when they fill that out, you can also get what their lead source was, like how'd you hear about us, etc. Big picture, I am split on loyalty programs in general. Main reason, the food is the loyalty program. Your food's good, they're gonna come back. Right, and they're going to tell their friends. And so other businesses, I think loyalty programs can make a much bigger difference. Like if you have a med spa or something, like loyalty program is like the business, right? But for them, I was just thinking through, okay, well, if this clearly meant a lot to them because they brought it up a couple times. And so I wanted to give them something. If I were to do it, this is how I'd approach it. And these are just based on things that I've seen work across industries. So running starts, which is where you have, let's say you have 10 punches. If you give people 2 or 3 punches on their first go, they feel like they got free stuff. But it's really like you just make the amount of punches that you need to do free and you just give them that start ahead of time. They've already proven this from a bunch of studies that running starts are like 2 or 3 times more likely to actually finish out their punches than people who had the same amount of punches remaining on a shorter punch card. And so it's like, well, if you're gonna do it, do that, obviously. But beyond that, I think through the same value drivers that I mentioned in the offers book over and over and over again. So this is page 56 of the offers book. Check this out. So whenever I'm trying to improve any product or service, I always think through the same value vectors, which is, what do I want to have happen? How do I make it less risky? How do I make it faster? How do I make it easier? Those are the value vectors. I'm thinking as a restaurant, I'm like, how do I make it faster? And as soon as I was thinking through it, I was like, okay, well, it's, trying to say that they're going to get their food first when they walk in, when they walk in the door, that's probably not going to be realistic. Like, the cook takes a certain amount of time, and some people don't want to be rushed to dinner. So like in that instance, speed's probably not the right variable, right? But waiting in line and being able to have first access, okay, well, we can make that part faster given the fact that they already have more demand. So I'm like, okay, well, that's a good one. The decreasing the perceived likelihood, the risk factor, that's what all the reviews are for, right? How do we, decrease effort and sacrifice? Well, we're gonna make it really easy for them to buy the alcohol because it's gonna be right in front of them, and we're gonna pair it with the food that we think would pair best with those specific drinks. So they don't have to think, I'm not sure. Like, again, this friction. I'm not sure which beverage to have. Boom, it's already solved, right? I'm just trying to remove friction from a lot of the parts of the process. And if someone's willing to pay more or get some sort of benefit for giving us their information, then we'll happily pass those things on as a reason to do it. Good on this?
Yes.
Don't worry. I know you'll want to watch the episode. So you'll have it.
Can we take that paper back as a souvenir?
Yeah. So now we're going to talk about team and operations, okay? Okay, so this is the training. What we really need to train them on is kind of the upsell process. Number one, they have the greeting. And so when I think about training people, you want to think about it as almost like skits. Because whenever you teach something, you have a condition, you have something that happens, and then you have a behavior. So when this, then that, right? So it's a rule. If this happens, then you do this. And so each of these are basically behavior rules. And so it's like, we're only going to teach you 4 rules. And the first one is that when someone comes in, you ask if it's their first time. If they say yes, you take this thing out of your pocket, you put it on the table, now everybody knows. That's thing 1. Let's practice. And you sit down at the table and you go back and forth, and the next person comes up and you drill it with them. Next person goes up, you drill with them, and you just keep going through, do it for an hour. They'll have 20 reps in an hour of just doing skit 1. Tomorrow, we'll do skit 2. And that training just gets so ingrained. If you do that on a regular basis I'm sure before the shift starts, they have a 30-minute little powwow or a 20-minute powwow. You just do this. And so you have the greeting for first-time customers. The second is going to be the beverage, which is we're going to be practicing getting the alcohol upsell. So let me tell you about our one beverage of the week. So in the back, we try out every week. We get together and we try out 5 different cocktails. And the one that we say is our favorite is what we make for the week. And so it's made fresh, home here. We did it just a couple hours ago. It's it's freshly squeezed mint, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of people love it. Would you like one of those? That's it. That's all we do. And then the next person goes up and you say, do it again, right?
Yeah.
And so you want them to get 5-10 repetitions per practice session. And so it's that way you can hold them accountable to it. Because if you do this on a regular basis, they'll do it. Then we have the pairings, which is when people are ordering their mains, just reminding them that that goes really well with. Would you like? A lot of people like it with. And just doing that little reminder. So it's gonna be sides plus alcohol. So with every one of these dishes, I mean, there's a reason McDonald's says, do you want fries with that? Do you want to supersize your meal? Do you, like each one of it's 3 questions after every time somebody says they want this thing. So yes, I want the pad thai. Awesome. Do you want to have extra noodles on the side? A lot of people do. No? Okay. It pairs really well with this. Do you want to go ahead and take one of those? And even the way I'm saying it, like, do you want to go ahead and take one of those? I'm telling them to say yes by how I'm asking the question. A lot of people do that. You want to go ahead and do one of those? They're like, okay, I'll do it. And so we just want to practice that. So the practice piece would be, I order, and then you ask me question 1, question 2. An experienced salesperson will know those tiny little nudges, and in a rapid sales conversation, which is what a waiter or waitress has to have, let's say you have a table of 5 people, you're gonna have 5 sales interactions. And so we're talking like 1 sentence or 1 phrase that we're adding on per kind of exchange back and forth. And so we just have to get the team to practice those little nudges, which is like, would you rather have chocolate or vanilla? I like chocolate, right? Or most people like chocolate, or that's what a lot of people do here. And this matters more, especially with first-time customers, because they're like, I don't know how it works here. And so then you're like, well, this is how it works. This is what most people do. This is what maximizes your experience while you're here at this restaurant. And so what we're doing functionally from a value perspective is we're paying down risk. We're increasing the perceived likelihood of achievement. We're saying, you want to have this amazing experience? I'm going to help you have the best experience by just helping you navigate this menu and ordering process to get the best stuff. And I'm incentivized to do that because I want you to have a good experience, so you tip me well. For every alcoholic beverage, what do you charge for the drinks right now?
It's pretty affordable. I think we're at like $6 or $7
Super
a beer.
affordable. So they're going to get about $1 added. So it's like when you're looking at the table, just think every question you ask, you have $1 just sitting there. And you have 5 people at the table and you've got $2 in each one of them. That's just right there.
Yeah.
And so, okay, you get 3 of them. Great. You just got $3 from just taking orders. I would translate it into what it means for them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. From a team perspective, I would put a little leaderboard in the back for the server that got the most alcoholic beverage sales. And then you can give them $50 or $100, whatever. Or maybe they just get priority to pick what schedule they want for the next month.
Okay.
Just little things like that I think work really, really well. So the last step is review/comeback offer. So if it's a first-time customer, they're gonna get the comeback offer. If it's any other customer, it's gonna be the review offer.
Gotcha.
/loyalty if you want to do your loyalty offer. And that's why we set this up so that we can do this. And if they forget, they can look down at the table and remember what napkin they put there. Right? That's why we do this, right? This is how we make a little system out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense? Do you
Makes
feel like they could do this?
Yes. Yes.
Great.
I want to do it.
So I think if we just do these things that we just outlined, there's a lot of points, but I think it's doable is kind of my point, right? Like we just kind of went through almost most of the things that they have to handle. The rest of it is menu, moving the menu stuff around, adding the 99 to the price, like very small things that could be big differences to the business. So the last thing we'll do is I'll cover the next location and then we'll wrap it up as one list and we'll prioritize it. Cool?
Yeah.
Okay. I think when you do your pre-opening, what I would do is I would do an influencer night. And so you make it a VIP event, they can videotape it and they could share it to their stories, and that you can give them the promotional offer of the free dessert, the free sticky rice, or free drink, whatever, that you could trace back to them. And I think that would be a great first launch. And then you can also use all of their creative. That's the deal for getting the VIP experience. So it's like you get all these influencers and they make these little videos about your restaurant. And then you can basically run an ad after the fact and people recognize them because they're influencers, but they're talking about your restaurant. All right, so check this out. So what I'm talking about is affiliates and partners, all right? And so the big key here is an affiliate is a lead getter. They're an independent business that tells their audience to buy your stuff. If we're gonna have a full night, right? We don't just want any kind of customer in the door. We want customers that can bring us boatloads of customers. Like their normal business is one customer tells 2 or 3 people and then those people come in. But the value of an influencer or somebody who's a local celebrity or a local influencer who runs a forum or whatever it is locally, or they're just another local business owner that has exposure to many other people who are walking in their shop, their auto shop every single day, then you invite them out and they can then tell 100 people on your behalf. And so it's simply...
Fahmee, they invited Fate with the jokes. I don't know if you guys know her. She's an influencer in the Toronto community. She's been doing this for a long time, so they did invite a couple for the grand opening, but I just wanted to say that.
That it just gives you a lot more leverage and you're willing to make a little bit of a trade. And so you might do it for free, or you might do it at cost, you might give them half off because it's pre-opening in exchange for them, videotaping it or making a post or something like that. Those types of things are great ways to kind of launch the word of mouth from the people who have the biggest megaphones. So number one thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do +99 on entrees. Number 2 is we're going to reorder menu in order of profit. 3, we're gonna add pairings alcohol with entree. Okay,
So if it was Fahmee, could there be items that you can add perhaps 99 cents and that would just increase your margins? Like is it like some entrees, maybe like the patties $3.99? Or like maybe some of your other products added 99 to it to increase little increments that increase your profit. It doesn't have to be 99, it could be 45 cents. Just in little things that just overall increase the margins, reorder menu profit so they have big screens. So Fahmee, if you walk in the store, maybe it's like organized in a way where we kind of like you're showing them what you want them to buy. Okay, we kind of want you to we want to incentivize you to buy these things. We want to incentivize you to buy these things. Like we feel like you might like these things, or you can go to ask your employees to taste like what do you guys prefer. Like we feel we like this. We feel like this is good. So we might tell you. So now you're like okay. we like these products. Let's incentivize them to buy it. It's because sometime I remember going the first time, it was everywhere. So I asked the owner, like, yo, what should I buy? You know, like there's a lot of things. I'm not quite sure what to buy. I know like their staple is like the patties, but I didn't know like they had more things, you know? Like they have more things that they're selling. So like incentivize a couple of things. We were, you know, so maybe incentivize them in a sense where when you go in, you see the most, maybe the expensive product, or and then boom, what's the lowest product? Because now you're anchoring, like you said, you're just like giving context. Okay, now like, oh damn, that's expensive, but compared to that expensive stuff, I can buy that because compared to that, you know, at least that seems a lot more cheaper. People see in context, you know what I mean? This is a bad example. It's like you see a group of girls, you might be of 5, you know what I mean? I don't know why I choose girls. You could be a guy too, but you're a group, you're 5 and looking for skill. If 1 out of 10, you're 5, you're normal looking, but you have a bunch of ugly people behind you, and that makes you look a lot more desirable than you know. Ugh, look at that, but him though, he stands out. That's because of the context, if that makes sense. Hopefully you guys understand that. And add pairing. And pairing, I was thinking about that too. Is just like maybe, I think it's $6 for a half a dozen or a dozen, or I don't quite remember how much they priced it. But maybe it's like incentivize you with pairing. Like if you buy this meal, this would be, you know, you can have this box for $1 off, $1 patties off or something like that. So if you buy this menu, this big item, you know, it's ticketed item, you know, maybe it's a flagship item, you know, and you're like, okay, if you buy that, we'll give you this. You buy this, well, that will be cheaper or something like that. Just pair a couple of, you know, a couple of things. Pricing.
4, drink special with
don't really have
table
drinks.
top pick. All right. So we're gonna do first timers training, which is napkin plus comeback offer. And then for returning customers, we're gonna,
I guess also like how would I help Fahmee get reoccurring customers? Like I said, loyalty program, perhaps like the card punch in. That's an ideal. Or perhaps you can give those cards specifically to people in the community that live in the Malvern area. So now it's like, you know what, I'm hungry, but oh shit, this card incentivizes me to go to like Fahmee more, because I'm gonna get something, you know, I'm gonna get this at a discount, I'm gonna get a free thing if I just go there 3 times, or you know what I'm saying? Or you can market that to more the students. You want to incentivize them because they're young, so these students are gonna grow up and they might come back, you know, because you're leaving in America. A lot of older people in the grand reopening were people that had, it's like a memory. I asked them questions. Why are you here? Like, why, you know, like, oh, I knew this brand since I was young, so it's kind of like nostalgic for them. Or I remember when they used to be there, you know. So you can do the same thing for the students. It's just like, okay, these students have okay, I remember when I was going to that school, and I went to Fahmee, and you know, they were giving me discounts, you know, like, because I'm a student, you know, like, bam, you know what I mean? Because you be nicer with the kids, so now when they grow up, it's like, okay, you know. So you can do like, maybe you can structure it in a way where it's now kid wise, like if you're under blah 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 blah. But if you guys understand what I hope you understand. If I'm saying it's clearly, I'm speaking fast because I don't want the video to be a bit too long. It's already 1 hour and 12.
I do manager card for VIP treatment.
Reoccurring, so it could be, like I said, it is a business too. I forgot reviews. If you want to get more reviews, like I said, it can incentivize. So let me just, if you do a review right now, so like when they buy, if you do a review, we'll give you, I don't know, maybe I'm gonna say percentage off. Don't call, like I said, he said he doesn't like to do percentage off or discounts. It's just full price or something free. You can offer them something free. Or nigga just bought something, let me give him a free drink. Now, if you do a review right now, we'll just add a drink to your thing. And you can just do like, don't even ask them, do you want a drink? Just like pull the drink in front of them, because it incentivizes them. Okay, yo, if you do a review right now, here's a free drink. If not, it's okay, you know. But give him, like, you know, like it's right there. The way you're framing is like, hey, it's like a sale. And probably, I don't know how Fahmee employees are trained, but I'll probably, like you said, just train them in a sense where just saying a few things incentivizes the customer. Again, the word is incentivize. It's like a program. Every time they come, as soon as they get into the store, it's strategically structured in a way where you know what you want them to buy. It's like you just push, like you want to push them to kind of buy something, you know, like, this is how we do things here, you know. If you're interested, if they're not, they can really look and buy something they want. But it's more, if a first time customer, like usually somebody just pulls up and he's like, okay, I see this, all right, not too expensive, all right, buy in context, this looks a lot more cheaper, let me buy that. Or it's more like, or it's another customer is like, nigga, I have the money for that, so I'm just gonna buy that. Ooh, if I buy this, they're gonna give me this, so you know, why not? You know.
And then 7, you're gonna have daily training on 5 scenarios.
I said
Doable?
training your
Okay, so let me show you how this actually adds up though. So if we see no change in sales just by adding the 99 cents, we get plus 30% to profit from this. Now, reordering the menu could actually have a really dramatic effect, because if we just got a higher percentage of people,
If I also may add, I would say also for Fahmee, if I were
to just buy the things that
call in
advertise
the
margin,
bin,
that can have a really big effect on the bottom line, because they're buying the stuff that costs the least, right? That has the
I would just say I would incentivize. My mindset would be to make it synonymous. When you hear Fahmee, you think of patties. You think like you make it synonymous. Okay, this is a patty place, you know, and it's like you go there. Yeah, fuck, I lost my train of thought. Everything fell. When everything fell, I just lost my train of thought. Sorry about that. Continue.
most markup. And so this, I would estimate, might be somewhere in the neighborhood of like 10 to 20%. If this succeeds, this one I feel really good about. This obviously is going to be huge for you.
Yes.
I mean, this could be somewhere in the neighborhood of like 40% plus increases. Like, this is really big, both of these together. First timer training, I think this is going to be more important for the second location, because you're already at relatively full right now. So getting people to come back, I think, is gonna be really important for the second location.
Yes.
But this might also help with some of the weekday,
Right.
because if you just get more people to come back, especially if they come during the weekdays, then those are the ones we really want to incentivize, because it's like, we'll come back again during Tuesday, right? So this might be I would probably estimate this might give you like and again, 10 doesn't sound like a lot, but it's 400,000 a year.
Yeah.
You know,
Again, I'm giving advice to Fahmee outside looking in, because if I can see the data, I can see, okay, now we can structure it in a more strategic way if I can see the data. But like, again, what I would say to Fahmee, how would I help them is, okay, how to get new customers, basically new leads, see where do they advertise and how many leads they get. So more, because like I said, Fahmee is a cultural, it's cultural, and you know, patties are very cultural in Toronto. So that's a big thing. So make it cultural, make it, you know, you're talking to a specific avatar. I already know what avatar I would target if I was Fahmee. You know, like, you're in Toronto, you have that, you know, that story, you're a Toronto brand, you know, like you have that boom boom boom. So I will advertise content in that sense, so make it synonymous with patties. Fahmee is patty. Oh, it's patty. Oh, it's been here for years. This is like a They have a great story. The brand, they have a great story. So yeah, that would chart with that. And not only getting new customers. Now, how do I keep my reoccurring customers? How do I make my recurring customers happy? And how do I get more recurring customers? That would be, like I said, the coupons, baby. Market more to the kids. They'll give like an incentive to the kids. Like, okay, if you come, you know, no, we'll give you a discount every boom boom boom, or like every like Monday, like a Tuesday special or something like that to the kids. Again, structurally reorganizing the menu, just structurally, you know, with certain things like that. If you want margins, again, let's see how many can I add a little, you know, to increase margins, a little 99 cents, a little 45 cents. You know, if something is $20, can I add a little 45 cents to increase margins? so getting new customers, getting new leads, how to get that customer to come back again. You know what I'm saying? To increase the lifetime value. Also CAC. How much do you guys spend to get new customers? But anyways, we're not getting too deep into that. So increase the lifetime value of a customer. So making that customer come more than once. So incentivizing that, and increasing margins. Yeah, but I would really for Fahmee, I would just focus on advertising and recurring customers. That's what I would do, bro. Just more people come into your store and they want to come back. That's what I would recommend. That's what I'd focus on for them. And I would need more data to really get more into their strategic stuff and how to structure it. Because I do not know their margins. I do not know, and stuff like that. But also, yeah, train your employees. Then, like I said, I would have to know more data. So how to train your employees to incentivize people to buy certain things, And yeah, like I said, you just want to frame it. It's just really strategic. It's basically strategy. How are you framing people to want to buy your stuff and stay? How are you incentivizing people to come to your store and want to come back? If I had to really zoom with that. And the other stuff will require a lot more data. But yeah, pretty much it for you, Fahmee.
You know what I mean? Given your revenue. So it's not nothing, right? Manager card, this is going to be reviews. I would bet this is probably a 20% lift, somewhere in that neighborhood. And then this is just going to be overall the execution. But these are the three that I think will really move the needle the most, and you don't have to do a lot to implement them.
Yeah,
How's that feel?
I can do it over the weekend and
Perfect.
be done.
That's my favorite kind of implementation. Right? Yeah, fast and easy is
Yeah,
what
yeah.
slow and hard.
Oh, yeah. No, this is easy. I can
Good.
just crank it out tonight
Good.
and then print it out tomorrow.
Good. How do you feel about this whole plan? Great?
Doable, and it's gonna make a big difference.
Yeah, very great.
Okay. Well, what we have to do now is we have to hug, and then I have to finish your food.
I never thought I would do something like this. Super nervous when he's like, "Are you gonna go on the filming?" I'm like, "Nope, not doing it." Scared to death. But I'm glad that I actually get out of that mindset and choose to do it, because I found lots of not just a helpful tip, but also I feel like I received support and guidance, which is really important. And I'm so glad that I made decision to be here.
Really happy to be here. Made me feel a lot more comfortable with learning how to scale better and trying to do it the right way the first time.
So Calvin and Air seem like amazing people, incredibly humble, very hardworking. I love the immigrant story, obviously. And it seems like they actually have a very good restaurant. And so I'm very excited to see them implement some of these changes and potentially dramatically enhance the profitability of the business to hopefully set up their expansion strategy so that they can go on and dominate and the entire world can have lots of amazing time.
I wonder if Fahmee, I don't think they're making over $1 million. If they're not making more over $1 million, I think I can help them. If they're not making over $1 million, it makes it much easier. If you're making over $1 million, it gets more complicated. I mean, look at how many channels. But I don't think they're making, because only a small portion goes over $1 million. But if I can, I could. Okay, my bad. Because, like I said, this is learn to learn. Now we're using a real life scenario, a real life store as counselor. Would I be able to look at every store in my community, in my ward, and help them? That would be fun, like a fun incentive, because you have the skill. That's why I'm building these skills, so I can be useful. And I think, I'm not gonna lie, that's one thing God made me on this earth. I knew God put me on this earth to serve, So I already know, okay, how can I serve them in that way? Because at the end of the day, we want people to survive. We want people to have those tools to survive and fend themselves. And that's why I'm trying to show you guys really authentically, like I'm working. I'm really working on this. Not only am I just talking the talk, I'm walking the walk. I want to not only talk the talk, but walk the walk. And you see, okay, this guy's reliable in that sense. So I'm really, it's a lot more complicated. It's a lot more things. Really, I'm really, you know what I mean? I'm trying to be authentic, really be a competent leader, a real competent leader, a real like a character, you know, like a real like anime character. Like this nigga just crazy. This nigga crazy. Like this nigga crazy. Like who, you know, I ain't no leaders. Like I'm really, I'm trying to be that echelon of leadership. You know, I'm really trying to be like, okay, this is one of the greatest leaders in the world. You know, like we never, you know, like really this guy crazy. Cause I didn't know leadership was. I didn't know leadership was like. You know, I didn't know it was like. I thought the leader did everything. I didn't know like you just the leader. You see, this how it works in the Canada, bro. The leader is more like a symbol, and the team does the work. So we, in a sense, you know what I mean. So it's like, okay, we're just gonna vote for this guy, and this guy is gonna allocate. He's like, okay, you're gonna do. That's what I find. I'm not trying to diss Trudeau, man. Fuck, I'm not trying to talk shit about him, but it feels more like he was more of a face than the real leader. You know what I mean? So that's not, like I said, the leader for me is the person that serves the people. So yeah, that's why I gotta be the most competent. Not because I'm trying to be, I'm the leader. It's more like, okay, so I can serve you guys a lot better. And that means because I have to outpace you guys so you guys know, okay. So I can see, you know, anyways, I'm talking too much, but yeah.
And speaking of alcohol stuff, since that's what this restaurant was all about, we actually have a bar consultant that we had a B2B business and services that we did a full breakdown on. So if you like this.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Alex. I understand a little bit how restaurants in the Malvern community are run. I kind of have a feel for it. And hopefully this video helps some of them. And hopefully, you know, I get better so I can help them personalize it and see how I can structure it when I do become like counselor and stuff. I see how can I do this, maybe build a system, maybe build like a, I don't know. But we'll see. For now, one step at a time, focus on getting better. I'm just trying to see, okay, is it like a government assisted? Should I be like maybe every Monday I ask if a business owner wants to come a one-on-one with me, pull up, and we'll do the same thing that he's doing, and we'll do it to them, you know, and just like, okay, we'll get better. Every Malvern community really work, be in the field with the people, you know what I mean? And yeah, y'all be safe. If y'all want to watch the journey of me becoming one of the greatest leaders in this country, please follow. Right now we're in a journey to become the most competent in my community right now. That's the first step, is becoming the most competent in my community. Then we'll go to like, you know, but this is just the process of it. You guys are seeing it raw, uncut, the flaws, shit falling. I hope you guys like the new lighting, new setup. You're so handsome. But yeah, literally, and yeah, how can we apply this? I'm gonna do a more refined version. Maybe you do a short term for tomorrow. I'm not gonna make a short term. Okay, this is how am I gonna frame this? How Alex Hormozi help Fahmee. Alex Hormozi helps me. I don't know, whatever. Fuck, I'm gonna frame it in a certain type of way. But it was a pleasure. You guys be safe. You guys be well. Yeah.